Hello everybody, welcome back to another video where I talk over a game, notably Stardew Valley. The dog wants to walk around, so you might hear some of that in the background. Anyway, so I wanted to talk about work weeks that are not the same length as the people around you. And this is a thing in work culture in general, I believe, that even neurotypicals have to deal with. If you do not work the same amount of hours as the person sitting next to you, for instance, there can be some commentary, there can be some jokes, there can be some looks, all that sort of thing, because we still, as a society, as a society in the West at the very least, have this thing where we think that presence equals an effective worker or a co-worker. So if you are not in the office for 40 hours a week, then what are you even doing? Like that type of thing. And somebody who is on the spectrum may actually want to work less hours than that because we need time to regulate, we need time to cool down and all that sort of thing. Just need extra time to get some of those impressions and things out of our system. And for some time now, I've worked a 30-hour work week at a couple of different jobs that I had, and mostly that's been fine. I actually didn't really have much of an issue with that, but occasionally you do encounter somebody who finds that weird and finds that like a reason to dislike you and things like that, and I don't know why. I mean, I'm also not asking for any type of accommodations and stuff like that, and when I do work those 30 hours, I put a lot of good work in. Of course, the people that comment or make a joke about the amount of hours that you work don't really know what you do. At least they don't in my case. And so they just see you leaving at a time where they're still not done working yet. And they go, they're not really doing much. Working half days, I see, that type of thing. And for some reason, that is a big issue for them. And it shouldn't be, because that's really, really strange. We kind of saw that with the pandemic as well, when everybody was forced to work from home. You had a couple of people that, of course, wanted to make the most of it as they possibly could by, connecting their mouse to something that moved occasionally so that it looked as though they were busy when actually they were watching a series on Netflix, whatever they were doing. But you also had plenty of people that just did their job and maybe realized that now that they didn't have to travel, they could actually have a much better work-life balance. And that's the thing that a lot of people want anyway. But specifically somebody who is on the spectrum who needs to regulate more. So really, I'd like if we were to just normalize not working 40 hours a week. Now, I know that's easier said than done because, of course, the boss wants you to work 40 hours a week. They prefer to see you sitting in your chair 40 hours a week. And if they don't see you sitting in your chair, then there must be something wrong with your work or your work ethic or something like that. Even if the work that you do can be done within, say, 3 hours in the day, they want you to sit there for the remaining 5 because that means that you are a good coworker. Now, if you have a job where you can do all your work in 3 hours, you might want to be concerned anyway, because that probably means that pretty soon they're going to start looking to let some people go, maybe. So maybe you want to be prepared for that. But anyway, so the amount of hours that somebody has under contract does not equal how effective they are. And another thing that kind of bothers me about this is, like, I'm not doing anything weird. I just negotiated that I would have these hours and I spread them across the 5 days. That means 30 hours spread across 5 days is 5 days of 6 hours. I start at 7:30 when most people haven't even gotten up yet. And then I can leave at 2 because I have 6 hours. And if you would like to work less hours, then don't hate on me, talk to your boss. So I don't really understand the hatred that people feel for people who work less hours than them. Like, are you jealous? Are you upset? Did we step in when you were negotiating your contract and say, no, this one has to work 40 hours so I can work 30. Remember that type of thing? Like, what's going on there? I just thought that was really weird that people tend to hate on me. I mean, they don't say it outright other than the jokes that they occasionally crack. Jokes tend to have a source of truth in them. And there's nothing that they can factually do, but if you have a bunch of people that are silently hating on you, they may start to talk about you behind your back, and then other people start to silently hate on you as well for no particular reason. And it creates a really negative work environment that really doesn't need to be. So next time you find that somebody has different hours than you, and maybe works less hours, instead of being upset with them, why don't you try to figure out if you can maybe work less hours yourself? And if you don't want to work less hours, then that's great. You can work as many hours as you want. But just take that into consideration that maybe people just have a different contracts and they're effective in their own way with less hours. So if we could just do that, that would not only help neurotypicals, it would definitely help neurodivergence as well, much more, because we need those extra hours to rest and recuperate. And it doesn't help if I'm being forced to feel less than on the way out, because that really only adds to the stuff I have to process at the end of the day. Otherwise, you might end up melting down, and you don't want that either. Thank you very much. But that is all I really wanted to say for this week. Kind of a quick one, but still, thanks for listening. I'll see you next time, and bye-bye for now.